Simply Full, the audiobook by Sophia Bothwell, available from Amazon. Part 3. Self-acceptance. Many people believe that self-acceptance will magically appear once they get slim, but the harsh reality is many of us have become slim, only to realize that our self-acceptance is still at a critically low level. So, if being slim doesn't automatically make us more self-accepting, then what does? Well, self-acceptance is a frame of mind, and like all frames of mind, is dependent on our thoughts, how we think about ourselves, positive or negative, condemning or understanding, forgiving or blaming. Therefore, your mind is the source of your self-acceptance. Self-acceptance is about no longer making a problem out of the self. Self-acceptance is about embracing who you are without being blind to your faults, but not beating yourself up about them either. Self-acceptance allows a general working on our faults in a compassionate way with the best methods we have at our disposal at any given moment in time. Self-acceptance is gentler and kinder than self-criticism, and certainly helps us move forward in life. If you can say to yourself in a genuine, heartfelt way, as you would a beloved child or friend, "I love you," then you have cracked it. You have the secret to life, love, happiness, along with the ability to deal with anything life throws your way, good, bad, and indifferent. You'll be able to handle it because you are strengthened by your genuine self-love. Having this genuine good feeling towards yourself is a good thing. It makes you a kinder, nicer, more loving, fair, understanding person to be around, for you cannot help but extend that love to others. Being fabulous. Being fabulous is not allowed. You have it all is not allowed. This is a subtle message many of us learned as children, and even to be yourself is not allowed. We learned that we had to do as mum, dad, or teacher tells us, and there was not much room for what we wanted to do. When we shone, maybe we were dampened down. When we expressed exuberance at a subject or activity at school that inspired us and brought us joy, maybe we were ignored, diminished, or even criticized. So, as adults, we have a lot of fear around being the woman that goes for her heartfelt goals and desires and maybe even starts to have it all. If every area of your life is going well, except your weight, then you have a slim body. Then to have a slim body would mean you have it all. This may be an unconscious, uncomfortable issue for you. And if so, you can deal with it by addressing the fears around it, such as the jealousy of others and people not liking you because you have it all. You're the slim, attractive woman and your life's going well. This can cause jealousy, and it's a difficult subject for many compulsive eaters. You can ask yourself, how do I deal with it when a friend or co-worker acts jealous? How do I deal with it when a relative, maybe even my mother or father, acts jealous? This is a very uncomfortable situation, and often being overweight is a subconscious way of dealing with it. So, how do I deal with it when someone resents my success? This is a good question to ask yourself. And are there other ways of thinking and responding to people who act jealous in either subtle or overt ways? The bottom line is, do not allow the discomfort or tactics of manipulations from others be any reason for you to stay overweight or dampen down your desire to achieve what you want in life. The slim woman. The slim woman is a stereotype. A major subconscious urge for many compulsive eaters who have suffered from or are currently suffering from overeating and being overweight is a struggle with the stereotypical image of the slim woman. When I was a compulsive eater, I was so obsessed with becoming a ridiculous 7.5 stone, a target weight that was actually underweight for my 5'4" height. I never imagined that I might have some ambivalence about being the slim, attractive young woman. It was not until I explored the negative and even fearful aspects of becoming the slim, attractive woman, the stereotype, that I was able to become permanently slim, a happy 8.5 stone, an ideal for my height. Who am I? I realized I wanted to be me and not a stereotype. I was only 19 when I tackled my habit of eating when full and obsession with size in this holistic, non diet way. So asking myself, who am I, was quite interesting. A private education had, funnily enough, only left me with a basic education, not really serving me well in many respects, but it was a good enough foundation. The subliminal message from my 1980s rural Irish culture was that you get married, become a housewife, and have children. I was pretty much okay with that, but I had a rebellious streak and was not quite sure where this cocktail of contradictions would take me. With my first job as a humble sales assistant, I was able to meet people, and because I knew I was a people person, this was quite a good job for me. The job also got me away from the confines of the isolated farm that was my parental home. A bit of breathing space and room to start finding myself was what life was giving me, and it was perfect. In the town where I worked, the local second-hand bookstore proved to be my salvation. For there I found the most interesting and wonderful books on feminism, spirituality, and I guess what could be described as pop psychology. These were books written by people who definitely thought outside the box, and I loved it. In particular, the book Fat is a Feminist Issue by Susie Orbach had great influence on me and started me on the road to being aware of what feelings caused me to overeat. So, reading these books gave me a string of new ideas and tools to help me along my way. My new positive identity was beginning to form. I realized I was a young woman with an interest in holistic pursuits. I was already vegetarian, and through the books, I started to practice a little yoga. I immersed myself in this new world of self help, pop psychology, and alternative health, really appreciating how the topics in these books fired my interest and were a huge life changing inspiration to me. The biggest thing that helped me further answer the question, who am I, was and still is the all important questions that I purposely repeatedly mentioned throughout this little audiobook in an effort to convey them into your way of living. What feeling is this? And given the fact I feel this way, what would I like to do now? These questions I ask all my workshop participants and one to one clients to ask themselves, for not only are they quite literally the whole course condensed into 18 words, they are a formula that is a real winner in helping you discover who you are and free you from eating when full and the resulting weight gain. So, spend a moment reflecting on your interests. Spend a moment asking yourself, who am I? I am not a stereotype. I am not a cardboard cutout. I am me with quirks and interests, imperfections and flaws. I love this, I dislike that. I am an avid follower of this and a distinct disbeliever in that. Fill in the blanks. I am dot dot dot. And you will be getting to know yourself better. Make a list and look at your list for the things you would like to change. For example, I am a little bit grumpy in the mornings. I am in a job I don't like. I am afraid to take that training course I fancy. So, what I would say to you now is own it, then change it. Own it, transform it. Own it. Let go of it. Ask yourself, how can I alter, change, transform, or let go of this aspect that I do not like, such as being grumpy in the morning or afraid to take that training course? And just like when we ask ourselves the question, given the fact I feel this way, what would I like to do now? Listen out for any intuitive guidance you might receive through repeated ideas that feel optimistic, joyful, or just good old fashioned common sense. Now look again at your I am list and tick off the good and positive aspects like I am a good mother, I am loving homeschooling my 3 kids. I am a good listener, for I can sense that my friends get a lot from my listening to them when they are chatting with me. So now, own it, keep it. Own it, cherish it. Own it, you are it. Own those aspects of yourself. This is what we do with our positive attributes and activities. For our own appreciation of them feeds us in wonderful, priceless ways, and we keep and expand the life we love to live. And there is another way we can use this owning attitude with a third I am list. A list of what you would like in your life. So if you want happiness, write down I am happy. And yes, you've guessed it, own it. Own it before you even have it. Own it and imagine it. Own it, feel it. For this will help perpetuate it into your existence. You invite it into your life by feeling you have it before you have it. Remember times you felt happy. Daydream, a happy daydream that allows you to feel happy, and thus you bring it into your life in a very real way. So, getting to know who you are is one hurdle, and once you start to discover your own interests and heartfelt desires, the putting them into practice stage naturally expands from that knowing. Reading books on what interests you, watching a YouTube video on what interests you, joining a night class and attending workshops, all can be done. A change or shift in career, or even where you live, may occur as you follow your interests and heartfelt desires and your intuition. Often unexpected, pleasant doors open for us when we come to be seen as people in charge of our own destiny. This can glean support from family and friends, or it might even receive an indifferent reaction, overt or covert opposition or discouragement. At this point in time, we can remember the all important truth. We are not doing this to either gain approval or rebel. We are not doing this to either gain approval nor rebel. We are following our own heartfelt desires because that is simply how we are choosing to live our lives. It is a choice, one we take regardless of the reactions of others. And again, I repeat, doing what you love, you do it regardless of the reactions of others. Our slim, healthy weight and our good physical, mental, and emotional health depend on it. Depending on your own individual upbringing, the extent to which you were allowed to be who you wanted to be, feel and express what you needed to feel and express, and do what you love to do, to the degree determines on how healthy and happy you are today. However, even with an abusive past, we can heal and grow out of that pain. Eating when full often becomes a coping mechanism picked up in childhood from overeating parents as a way of dealing with the emotional pain of dysfunctional family dynamics. But whatever habits we've picked up can be dropped as we work on ourselves and our own personal healing. Page 37, end of part 3. Simply Full by Sophia Bothwell, available from Amazon.